Investing is the secret to building wealth, and if you're thinking about putting $1,000 somewhere this year to make them grow significantly, you're in the right place. However, this entirely depends on whether these $1,000 are the only ones you intend to invest or if you'll consistently have more in the future. To begin with, let's talk about having only $1,000 to invest, and that's it. This means you'll put this money somewhere and let it grow.
Through the next 10 years, actually returns averaged about 50% a year, and I think they were 37 points better than the Dow per year, something like that. But that I was working with a tiny amount of money.
So you've saved $1,000 and plan to invest it in the stock market or riskier assets. First of all, congratulations, because you've already done more than most people by saving these $1,000. Unfortunately, I have bad news. Putting this money in the stock market probably isn't the best idea if it's the only $1,000 you plan to invest for a while. Some of you might think that the best place to put your money would be in a savings account or certificate of deposit, CD, since they offer guaranteed returns, right? Well, let's see how you would fare doing that. As of February 2023, the average return on a savings account is only 0.33%, which means that putting your money in a savings account for 5 years would yield a net total of $1,100. That's not great, because even though you have a guaranteed return, you'll never build wealth this way. And what about CDs? For those who don't know, they are basically like savings accounts, except you can't touch the money for a certain period unless you want to pay a hefty penalty. Let's see how this would work for you. The average CD rate for a 5-year term is 1.37%, which isn't too bad, but unfortunately it won't give you anything significant. Your $1,000 would grow to a mere $1,068, which is enough to buy a nice pair of jeans or some new shoes. But who wants to wait 5 years just to do that again? It won't make you rich. Even if you invested that money in the stock market for 5 years with an average return of 7%, you'd still end up with only $1,400. That's by far the best option, but it still won't change your life. You might be feeling concerned now, but actually, there's something you can do that will allow you to earn more money so you can invest more and thereby increase your wealth.
Most people go through life using up a very small part of their potential. And so anything you do that invests in yourself, that's the best investment you can possibly make. And then I would follow my passion. I mean, whatever turns you on.
As Warren Buffett said, the best thing you can do is educate yourself and invest in yourself, meaning learn new skills that can be valuable to any company you work for now and in the future. The more valuable you are, the more you'll be paid. It's really that simple when you think about it. You can invest in yourself through things like books, webinars, seminars, or courses. The more skills you have, the more in demand you'll be by companies, and the less likely you are to be laid off. Some examples of things you can do are marketing and programming, which are becoming highly valuable assets in virtually any industry. Basically, you want to pursue skills that are in high demand, but that few people possess. A famous quote by Charlie Munger that supports this says the following: "Develop yourself as a lifelong self-learner through voracious reading, cultivate curiosity, and strive to become a little wiser every day. As you learn more, you'll grow more, and as you grow more, your money and happiness will grow." The other thing you can do with $1,000 is work on creating another source of income. The great thing about this generation is that it's extremely easy to create another source of income because of the internet. The hard part is putting in the work and starting this business. However, if you invest in your knowledge, you can take action to create something with it. Then you can use the money you earn from it to invest in your business and make it grow even more. And when it earns even more money, you can invest it in the stock market. So, if you have a stable income, saved $1,000, and plan to add more money every month, it's still important to invest in your education and personal growth. But the question is, what else can you do? What you're looking for here is a passive income source, meaning you put your $1,000 and any amount you plan to add every month and let that money make money for you while you also work and earn money for yourself. In fact, a powerful quote from Buffett confirms the importance of making your money work for you. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And who wants to work their whole life? Not many, for sure. For most people, the stock market is a place where you can invest in a large number of companies. For example, you can buy stocks of companies like Tesla, IBM, or Google. When you buy shares of these companies or any others, you own a small part of the company. If they make money, you make money. If they lose money, you also lose. This happens either through the increase or decrease in stock price, or by receiving more or fewer dividends. But the way you should invest in the stock market is through index funds.
14 presidents, 7 Republicans, 7 Democrats. We've had world wars. We had 9/11. We had the Cuban Missile Crisis. We have all kinds of things. The best single thing you could have done on March 11th, 1942, when I bought my first stock, was just buy an index fund.
As Warren Buffett is a big advocate of this, let's use an example to illustrate it even further. Imagine you've invested all your funds in Tesla, but for some reason, the batteries in the latest models simply stop charging without a clear solution. This leaves thousands of people unable to drive their cars and potentially causing harmful accidents. To make matters worse, there's no way to fix them except by replacing the entire car. Unfortunately, Tesla can't afford to replace all these cars, and they're also facing several lawsuits from people who got hurt and from insurance companies. This leads them to bankruptcy. Now, you have your money in this company, and without any fault of your own, you lose everything you have. But the opposite can also happen. Let's say Tesla manages to create a battery that charges twice as fast and can go twice the distance on a single charge. This greatly boosts their sales, and now the value of what you invested in doubles and shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. This is what happens when investing in individual companies. You can get huge returns, but it's also much riskier because if you don't make a good choice, you can lose everything. A good rule to follow is that if you don't have time to study companies and learn about investments, it's better to avoid it altogether. There's more to investing than picking the next trendy company, but that's where index funds come in. Index funds are essentially a basket of companies you can invest in, meaning you can skip the whole process of trying to find the next best company. Some examples include investing in the overall market, a specific sector like technology, or even companies that pay dividends. The best part is that these companies are very easy to buy. In fact, they are as simple as stocks. The only thing I have to tell you is that you're not guaranteed to make money when you invest, even with index funds. So always do your due diligence and don't blindly follow what you're told. To start, you can opt for general market funds, which are safe and reliable. It's a great option for beginners. Two of the most popular ones are VOO and SPY. This will give you exposure to the top 500 companies in the United States. What you can expect is that if the US economy thrives, the fund will also thrive, and if the economy falls, you can expect the fund to fall too. If you want to get into technology, you can go for VGT or QQQ. This will give you exposure to companies like Microsoft, AMD, or Google. Both of these funds have different companies, so do some research to see which one you prefer. Lastly, if you want to receive dividend payments, consider VYM or SDY. When you invest in this fund, you get exposure to various companies that pay dividends for you to invest in. When you're looking to invest in these funds, there's a way that will generate the highest return for your money. What you want to do is, whenever you receive a paycheck, set aside a portion of it, something like 10 to 15%, and automatically put it into your account. This way, you won't accidentally spend the money that should be used for investing. As Buffett said, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. The second way you can use your $1,000 and additional money is through real estate investments. You can use a real estate crowdfunding platform that allows you to put in small amounts like $1,000 with other investors to fund properties. So if the property generates profit, you also earn. If the property value goes up, you also benefit. These platforms typically pay through passive income earned from rent. However, it's important to know that this money isn't liquid as it's in physical real estate. If you're comfortable with investing in physical real estate, don't have the capital to buy your own property, and don't mind not having access to your money for a while, this is the option to go for. Lastly, you can gain access to indirect real estate investments through REITs or real estate investment trusts. With REITs, you invest in a company that invests in real estate, but it works similarly. You receive dividends based on the money coming in through rent and other sales, but without being tied to physical properties. REITs also tend to pay higher dividends as companies are required to distribute 90% of profits to shareholders. Some examples of REITs are VNQ and USRT. If you don't want to invest at all, then there's one thing you can do with your money, and that's paying off your debts as quickly as possible.
You can't make progress in your financial life going around borrowing money at 18 or 20%. You can make a lot of money by lending it out at 18 or 20% over time. If you can find anybody that's good that will borrow from you. But you don't want to be on the side of the equation that's always behind in life.
Paying off debts early is like getting a return on investment. Suppose you have a loan with a 4% interest rate, like a car loan, mortgage, or student loan. If you pay it off a year early, you effectively got a 4% return because it's one more year you don't have to pay the bank. So if you're apprehensive about investing in the stock market right now, or don't want to get involved in real estate, this is your next best option. It will allow you to have much more money available because you'll have fewer expenses every month. The faster you pay off your debts, the less interest you'll have and the more money you can keep in your pocket.